Shughuli hiyo umeendelea kushirikiana, kuongea, kushauriana ili tuweze kusaidiana kama taifa, kwa sababu taifa letu litasonga mbele kama wewe utaendelea kushirikiana na viongozi wote. So Your Excellency, I just want to take this opportunity just to thank you and also to thank Prime Minister Raila Odinga for the continued collaboration during our quest as a country for the leadership of the African Union Commission. And even if that activity did not bring us success, we are very grateful because it has solidified our unity, profiled our country well, and today Africa knows that Kenya is a strong nation and Kenya has a big contribution to make for the success of Africa. So Your Excellency, my task this morning is just to maybe invite the two of you to make some remarks as you may find necessary, so that you can help us navigate the future going forward. And without much ado, I want to invite the Prime Minister to make a few comments, and after he finishes, he can invite you to make your comments, Your Excellency. Welcome, Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Your Excellency, na viongozi wote ambao wamefika hapa, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Now I'm delighted to be back home. You see, east, west, north, south, home is best. I feel very, very happy and delighted to be back to Kenya after what we went through. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, the President, the Deputy, the Ministers, the leaders, and Kenyans generally, who traveled with us this journey across the length and the breadth of the continent of Africa. This was an enterprise that has been an eye-opener. It gave us opportunity to understand our continent better, to engage and talk with the leaders across the whole continent of Africa, north, south, east, west. We now know more clearer the challenges that faced our continent. I have an opportunity to meet with over 40 presidents of African countries in their own capitals and talk to them not just about my candidature, but also listen to them tell me the challenges that they are facing as countries. If you listen to the talks, you see that problems are facing our continent are very similar in nature. And you also get to realize that most of them, of course, are historical. Their roots in the way Africa has, the way the neo-colonial system has continued to exploit Africa after political independence. So we came up with a program to make Africa work. We came up with a program first to bring peace, to silence the guns in the continent. Because without peace there can be no development. And all over Africa, guns are singing, despite the resolution that was made in 2013 to silence them by 2020. We came up with a very ambitious program of infrastructure development to interconnect their continent. We also came up with a program of how to tackle the issue of climate change. Created quite a bit of awareness in the continent. And I'm very grateful for the reception that I received throughout the continent. And finally, we went to Addis. Before we went to Addis, the women of Kenya, Orange Women, hosted a prayer meeting for me in Mombasa, Kenya. They prayed for me, for the God of Kenya to give me victory. And I told them, look, I'm going to Addis, and you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried at all. Because I was actually picking this from a story I got from a friend of mine. You should never worry at all. If you are sick, don't be worried. There are only two things that can happen to you. You can recover or you can die. If you recover, there's nothing to worry about. But if you die, there's also nothing to worry about. Because if you die as a Christian or as a Muslim, you have only two places to go to. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell. So if you go to heaven, there is nothing to worry about, to enjoy. But if you go to hell, you should not worry. Why? Because you're going to meet so many of your friends there that you'll take a lot of time greeting them and wishing them well, that you will not have time to worry about. So I told them that, look, if we win in Addis, we will have succeeded. But if we don't win, if we lose, we will also have succeeded. Why? Because we will have other jobs to do. We'll come back home and do other things. So we have succeeded because we have now come back home to join you people here, back home. So I am very grateful to be back home. I want to thank again my brother, younger brother, President William Ruto, who stood by me. He never asked me to run. I announced myself that I was going to run for this position of chair of African Union Commission. And he only came after I made the announcement to say that he was supporting my candidature. And he did support my candidature not just by words, but by deeds. They put up the machinery to help the campaign for me. I've seen billions being said, quoted. Somebody's talking about 13 billion shillings spent on the Raila campaign. I don't know in which world those guys live on, whether they know what a billion means. A billion shillings to do what? The money that was spent was the money that was necessary just to hire transport to travel around. And we were not living luxuriously. We were eating whatever was given to us wherever we went to. And many other African countries were very generous. They provided us accommodation and so on. So, but the government gave what was required. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs was available 24/7. And the other government departments to make appointment for me to be able to meet the leadership across the continent. So I want to thank my brother very profusely for their support. And I also want to thank the other leaders across the continent, those who voted for us. There are those who stood with us to the last moment and voted. And if we had wanted, we would have completely stopped the elections, because you require 2/3 to be elected. And these leaders were ready to go with us to the end, and they would not have been able to get the 2/3. So I thank them. And I also thank those who voted against us, because in doing so they were exercising their democratic right. That's how democracy works. So we are not bitter at all. I congratulated my competitors, the candidate from Madagascar, the candidate from Djibouti, who eventually won, and wish him well, indeed. So we are available to help the continent of Africa, but more importantly, we are also available for Kenya. I'm back home here. I'm going to meet with my friends, my supporters, and I'm going to consult widely what's going on forward. And in due course, we're going to announce our way forward. So we'll give a way forward very, very shortly. Today, we just came to meet. I asked for this meeting to come and thank the President and his team for the support they've given me, and also to thank the Kenyans who have supported me throughout all this period of campaign. And I just want to say, watch this space. I will be talking again. Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister Raila Odinga, distinguished leaders who are here, ladies and gentlemen, let me also echo the words that have been ably put by both the Deputy President and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that this morning we met here to bring closure to our candidature as a country through Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission Chair. As you are all aware, when Prime Minister Raila Odinga announced that he wanted to run for the position of Africa Union Commission Chair, as President and leader of this country, Raila Odinga being a leader in our country and a candidate, I took the position that